Let us read the chapter The Comedy of Errors. There are two sets of twins in this play, and to make matters worse, each pair of twins has the same name. A storm at sea breaks up a family, so that Aegon reaches Syracuse with one of his sons and one of the other twins. His wife, Amelia, reaches Ephesus with the other boys. Both sons of Aegon and Amelia are called Antipholus, and both the other boys are called Dromio. When the text begins, Antipholus and Dromio of Syracuse are looking for Antipholus' twin and have reached Ephesus. There, a merchant advises Antipholus to pretend he is from Epidam so that he is not arrested or punished as is done with Syracians merchants in Ephesus. He also gives Antipholus some money, which the latter asks Dromio to take to the inn. After Dromio leaves with the money, Antipholus remarks that he is a trustworthy fellow who often cheers him up if he is gloomy. The merchant has prior engagements, so Antipholus decides to wander around the city alone. While he is brooding on the difficulty of finding his mother and brother and feeling unhappy and hopeless, he meets Dromio of Ephesus. This Dromio was sent by Adriana, the wife of Antipholus of Ephesus, to bring her husband home for dinner. Mistaking Antipholus of Syracuse to be his master, he urges him to go home. Antipholus of Syracuse, on his part, thinks this is Dromio of Syracuse and asks him what he did with the money. Antipholus cannot understand which mistress Dromio is talking about, and Dromio of Ephesus cannot understand which money Antipholus is talking about. Finally, Antipholus is so angry that he goes to hit Dromio, at which the latter runs away. Antipholus then goes to the inn, finds Dromio of Syracuse and the money there, and scolds Dromio for playing pranks, which confuses the latter. Dromio of Ephesus, meanwhile, goes home and tells Adriana what happened, which worries and upsets the lady. She sets out with her sister, Louisiana, to find her husband and runs into Antipholus of Syracuse instead. The two women approach Antipholus for having strangely. Antipholus is extremely confused as he does not know either of them, while they claim to know him. When the women say they had sent Dromio to him, the confusion is doubled, as Antipholus now thinks Dromio of Syracuse had met the women and is lying to him. Dromio is so puzzled he feels like he is living in a fairy world where nothing is real or understandable. Finally, Antipholus decides to go along with Adriana, hoping to understand what is going on and clear things up. They all depart for Adriana's house.